Well, good morning. Welcome, everyone. It's Tuesday, so this must be the Loss, Losing, and Listening group. As I said, this Tuesday session is focused on the concepts of loss, losing, and loosening, with the idea that grief of all kinds travels with us wherever we go, and acknowledging the different kinds of losses that we've been living with this last year and in our lives feels like a helpful thing to do and a healing thing to do. So, welcome everyone. As always, we will start with going around the circle, our name, where we are in the world right now, an image or a word that just describes where you are, how you're feeling right now in this moment this morning. I think my words today are the sadness of suffering. My partner is suffering with the second dose of vaccine. A good friend and colleague died this past weekend, and another friend and colleague is in the dying process as we speak, and just feeling a lot of that.
Mm. Mm.
So, the poem I'm going to start with today is a poem by, oh, somebody's got background noise. If you've got background noise, please remember to mute. So, this poem is called Calling Out the Names by Elizabeth Austen. Stripped of leaves, each limb exposed, maple remembers the whoosh of branches, lush with wind and shade. Even frozen solid or emptied by drought, river remembers flood banks, the pulse of current. Grain in the loaf remembers field. Scar remembers knife, but also suture and the hand that bandaged. Bed recalls absent sleeper, damp breath on the pillow. Brush stilled on the dresser remembers knots and what followed the untangling. Honey remembers hive, bee, and blossom. Salmon tastes home in the scent of its birth stream. Sand remembers shell, gravel the granite cliff, lung, breath, throat, song. And I remember you. I'll read it once more. Calling out the names. Stripped of leaves, each limb exposed, maple remembers the whoosh of branches lush with wind and shade. Even frozen solid or emptied by drought, river remembers flood banks, the pulse of current. Grain in the loaf remembers field. Scar remembers knife, but also suture and the hands that bandaged. Bed recalls absent sleeper, damp breath on the pillow. Brush, stilled on the dresser, remembers knots and what followed the untangling. Honey remembers hive, bee, and blossom. Salmon tastes home in the scent of its birth stream. Sand remembers shell, gravel the granite cliff, lung, breath, throat, song. And I remember you. What touches your heart in this poem?
Home in the scent of its birth stream.
And I remember you.
Honey remembers hive.
Lush with wind and shade.
Scar remembers knife.
Brush remembers knots.
And what followed the untangling?
Emptied by drought, river remembers flood.
Lung, breath, throat, song.
Yeah. So, as always, if there's a line or a concept that really strikes you in this poem, go ahead and use that as your prompt. You can use I remember or river remembers. And we'll do a 5-minute write. These do not need to be finished works. But who would like to read what has come through so far? I'm going to read the next poem by Maria de Andrade, a Brazilian poet, called My Soul Has a Hat. I counted my years and realized that I have less time to live by than I have lived so far. I feel like a child who won a pack of candies. At first, he ate them with pleasure, but when he realized that there was little left, he began to taste them intensely. I have no time for endless meetings where the statutes, rules, procedures, and internal regulations are discussed, knowing that nothing will be done. I no longer have the patience to stand absurd people who, despite their chronological age, have not grown up. My time is too short. I want the essence. My spirit is in a hurry. I do not have much candy in the package anymore. I want to live next to humans, very realistic people who know how to laugh at their mistakes, who are not inflated by their own triumphs, and who take responsibility for their actions. In this way, human dignity is defended, and we live in truth and honesty. It is the essentials that make life useful. I want to surround myself with people who know how to touch the hearts of those whom hard strokes of life have learned to grow with sweet touches of the soul. Yes, I'm in a hurry. I'm in a hurry to live with the intensity that only maturity can give. I do not intend to waste any of the remaining desserts. I am sure they will be exquisite, much more than those eaten so far. My goal is to reach the end satisfied and at peace with my loved ones and my conscience. We have 2 lives, and the second one begins when you realize you only have one.
Wow. My time is too short. My goal is to reach the end satisfied.
I want the essence.
My spirit is in a hurry. We have 2 lives, and the second one begins when you realize you only have one.
Sweet
I
touches
want the
of the
essence.
soul. Sweet touches of the soul.
at peace with my loved ones and my conscience.
I'm
I
in a
do not
hurry to live.
I do not intend wasting the remaining desserts.
I want the essence.
It is the essentials that make life useful. And people who know how to laugh at their mistakes.
I want to surround myself with people.
So if there's a phrase or a line that you want to work with, feel free. Or you could work with, I want the essence. Or my goal is. And we'll do, let's see, we'll just do a 3-minute write. Who would like to read? As always, this hour goes quickly. I'm reminded of Marcia's line, daring to enter the transformation. We all do that as we start this hour together, not knowing where it will lead, what will come through, what we will hear. Always such a remarkable hour. Thank you all so much. Be tender with your hearts today, always, and many blessings to all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.